18-12, 120. Sydney lead the Saints 5-5, 35. They lead by 85 points after leading by 2 points at quarter time and 47 points at half time. Big question is, can St Kilda kick a goal? Thompson finds Aussie Jones and drills it, and this time finds Blake. He's on the front edge of the centre square. He's got Barry Hall in the goal square. Hamill also in the pocket. The target is going to be Barry Hall, but again the kick drops short. And Sydney Swans players get back. They fill up the holes and the gaps. O'Keefe has got it. Very close to the man on the mark. Good purchase on the ball and a good grab taken by Crouch. Got a lot of players, Sydney, who are probably not household names, but they get the job done. Crouch from centre wing to the half-forward line. Williams pushing and shoving and takes a one-hander.
Brilliant from Paul Williams. Another one that's been in pretty good form in the last couple of months for the Swans. 17 possessions today, coming in for kick number 14. He's already kicked 1 goal, lining up for his second. Take a pretty good kick from just inside the 50-metre arc by the time he actually makes contact on a 45-degree angle.
Kicked 1 goal today. That came in the 3rd term. Williams, what a pick-up he's been from Collingwood. Been one of their best players all year. Leans back. Hits the post.
Well, Jason Saddington on the sideline there, the Swans bench. As you can see, he's got that left ankle strapped and wrapped with ice. So looks like that's the last we'll see of Jason Saddington today.
No need to take a risk, is there? Particularly with Brisbane coming up next week. Young. Still squeezed up in the back pocket.
Not a lot happening for him upfield.
So he goes very short, finds Davis. And on the back foot. Kicked it short to a contest. You had Callaghan against Adam Goods. And also Shawble. Matthews and McPherson having a bit of a breather. Jason Saddington. Time to have a chat. Goods and Everett. Wonder what's going through the mind of Peter Everett today. He's had a great season. There's some talk he won't be there next year. What do you think, Jason?
Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? He may be looking to go somewhere where he thinks the prospects of success, finals appearances are a lot higher. But he's certainly probably, well, look, he's probably been the #1 tap ruckman in the competition this year, hasn't he? I mean, Matthew Primus has had an exceptional year for the power link from the front, but in terms of pure ruck work, Everett's been very, very good this season.
His biggest problem is that he's still contracted next year to St Kilda, though, isn't he?
Yes, he is. I think he might have
2 years.
2 years ago, so they'd have to want to let him go and therefore do a deal.
Yeah, so she's not cut and shut by any means.
Traianides on the boundary line, warming up, and Justin Koschitzky's coming off, the young man who's had a very, very big season for St Kilda. Young man from Brocklesby, the #2 draft choice. He's played at centre half back. It's been a long season. He's done it well, though. Hamill working hard in close. Aussie Jones on the burst, can set it up. Davis goes to ground. The handball should have been there with the first option. It wasn't. Jones did well to keep the ball alive. There was a clever play. Come from Nix, who's booted 5 goals today. Ball, just shoveled the ball out. Taken by Kirk. And the free kick.
A lot of handballs. You'd think someone would just throw it on the boot and get the ball going forward.
Under these conditions.
Looking for Lewis.
Lewis looks dangerous. Couldn't take it on the second grab.
Nix.
This man can kick goal #6. It's Bendy.
It's a beauty.
What a goal! What a hot day that man has had. He has booted today. 6 goals, 7.
I was about to say that the only remaining interest in this match is what sort of total Matthew Nix can produce. He's kicked 4. He had kicked 4 of his 5 goals at the other end, but he's saved his best for the last quarter. And after kicking that, he just stood there and said, "What about that, boys?" What a beauty. Just on the left boot. Magnificent touch. Look at him right at home.
6 goals, 7, and they said they'll miss Tony Lockett.
What a superb game from Matthew Nix. He's just dominated from start to finish.
He's probably been the full forward they've been looking for all these years, and Tony Lockett probably just
He was
filled up
holding
that
him
goal
back.
space.
He was
held
holding
him
him
back.
back.
This bloke's got real talent.
Similar builds.
Hasn't been reported that many times though, Tony, has he? Thompson goes long, Barry Hall. Thought he might have given away the free kick. Young got a fist to the ball.
Oh, well done, Jude Bolton.
Yes, he's a good young player. Hits the ball always hard. Seymour just weighed up the options. He was looking for Lewis. Thought he might have given away the free kick to try and lead. He looks back at the umpire.
He's had back problems. He has had back problems. I think he landed awkwardly, and he might be feeling that in the back.
It's a free kick to try and lead, wasn't it?
You'd think so. He wasn't really looking at the ball, but he does land awkwardly, flat on the back.
Boundary throw in right on 50. Goods and Everett. Everett's done very well today with getting his hands on the ball, and Lewis pumps the ball deep. Davis got a shove by Bolton. Loose ball, Baker. Somehow comes away with the ball, was caught in two minds. Hudson backtracks and retreats, conceded ground, gives it across to Geary, who thumps the ball back. He's looking for Hamill. Goods got his body on the line. Good hands by Hamill. Sets it up to the run of Young. Can he use the ball well?
Oh.
Straight through the arms of Blake. Kicked off the ground by Ball.
Good option.
So they've got the numbers now. O'Keefe, the run will come from Maxfield, who's been the sweeper all day, and heads straight for the line, the consummate defender.
15 possessions for Stuart Maxfield, 11 kicks, 4 hand passes. Very good in the first half, just mopping up across half back.
Well, not much to do in the third quarter. Troy Luff going for a jog around the boundary line.
Yeah, and that's prompted the crowd. They are up, raised arms, clapping Troy Luff and cheering him as he goes for a run around the boundary.
Well, St Kilda haven't kicked a goal since the 2.5-minute mark of the second quarter.
Amazing stat, isn't it? After they kicked 4 goals, 2 in the first quarter. 1 goal, 1 in the second.
And they kicked those 4 goals in about 5 or 6 minutes.
And a couple of points in the third. Yeah, it's been very, very dismal day.
Mark, do you get the impression that there might be a bit of pressure to put Troy Luff back on it soon?
Well, I think Rocket might be feeling that actually at the
I think
moment.
he's got to come back on before the end of the game, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
He's got to come on and kick a goal. Callahan kicks the ball to space and finds Seymour. They break quickly, and Nix is having a real day out. 6 goals, 7. Milne to Plapp. They'll share the ball round Baker and
Good
finds
hands.
Barry Hall. Did that in the first quarter, kicked a couple of goals, stands back, unloads, just winds up and unwinds. Chance now.
Oh.
Knowles. It's a poor handball. It was a bad option. Milne gets a shove. And taken over the line by Fixter.
Not quite sure who the hand pass was intended for when it came back inbounds. Would have been better off just having a snap over the shoulder. Bolton and Chad Davis. And Matthew Nix, who's having a day out now, has Justin Plapp as an opponent.
Maxwell just all tied up and a ball up. Still 45 metres out from goal. Peter Everett today has worked hard in the ruck. He's had it 10 times and 3 marks. Jason Ball has been a tough opponent. 17 possessions today to Jason Ball. He's had 3 marks. About even as far as the tap outs go. Milne, can he trap it? Creswell does it well. Then they kick the space and the race is on.
Will win most races, Fraser Gehrig.
He is quick. Bolton closes very quickly and forces the kick to go over the line on the full. Baker was being manhandled, surely. Young man who has really made his name as a tagger. As the Saints come forward, Plapp attack the ball hard. Thompson, and a chip kick finds Callahan. They guard the mark well too, Sydney. Callahan watching the mark, not allowing to really creep around. So Callahan pumps the ball deep. Milne should kick a goal for the Saints. Their first. He's kicked a goal. And that's their first goal.
It's been a long time coming, isn't it? You mentioned KB since the 2.5-minute mark of the second quarter. That's a quarter and a half, or sorry, nearly 2.5 quarters of football without a goal. And a very, very sour taste will be left in the mouth of St Kilda supporters at the end of the afternoon, I'm sure.
And a huge roar goes around the ground. Mark Beretta.
Yes, Jason Ball sitting down, and Troy Luff is back on, and the crowd, KB, has gone berserk.
Well, he's gone to the forward line as well. It'd be terrific if he could kick a goal. Baker playing in front of McPherson. Wobbles the ball out towards centre wing. Callaghan has to hit it hard. He's got 2 to beat. That's been the story. Maxfield hasn't really put a foot wrong today. Callaghan to Davis. Maybe the Saints might be inspired by that goal. It's been a long time between drinks. And the free kick is coming back, and it's going to the Saints. Now, Jason Ball, is he a bit sore around the...
Yeah, they've strapped the brace on him, KB. We'll keep an eye on that.
Because we saw him there before rugged up, and we thought he was just sort of cold, but obviously he might have a bit of a neck problem. Moyle. Too far out to score. Correction, Knowles. Barry Hall's the target. Tried to fist the ball away. And Dunkley. So hard to beat when he plays in front. To Seymour. And Creswell heads towards the line. Beats Nix over.
Very hard task today, KB, to play forward for St Kilda. Just not giving their forwards any option at all. No room to do any work in. And been a very hard day in the office for Barry Hall and Aaron Hamill.
It would be a nightmare. 19-13, 127. Sydney, the Saints, 6-5-41.
Don't forget the i7 Sport website, i7sport.com.au. All the latest football information and developments.
86 points is the lead for Sydney. Just under 12 minutes left in this final quarter. Sydney setting up their finals campaign. A big game next week against Brisbane at the Gabba. Bolton continues to run hard. Trianides from half back. Hutchinson was involved as well. A bit too much carry on the ball. It's a boundary throw-in. So a chance for the Saints, just 15 metres around from goal. Matthews on the bike. Everett just bending over. Tries to set it up. He was looking for Blake. Crouch. It's a hurried kick. They've just about won every loose ball today, the Swans. And O'Loughlin just puts it straight back over the line. You know, he's been pinged for that.
Well, Ben Matthews off the bike, back on, and Darren Creswell having a rest.
Hudson looking for Hamill, and chipping in again is Dunkley. Seymour. On the stretch was Hudson. Crouch. Intercepted that time by Thompson. Again, a boundary throw-in. 65 metres out from St Kilda's goal. They trail 6-5-41. 19-13, 127 the Swans. And the main goal kicker today, Matthew Nix, has booted 6. In fact, he's booted 6 goals, 7 today. 2 goals to Kirk, 2 to Shawball, and 2 to McPherson and Ben Matthews. And for St Kilda, just the 4 goal kickers, 2 to Nick Riewoldt, 2 to Barry Hall, 1 to Stephen Milne, and 1 to Peter Everett. Beetham, edge of the centre square. Penetrating kick, in front again is Dunkley. He's a great mark. He's a super grab.
Good leap and clean hands in the conditions, wasn't it?
And to think in his early days he was down at St Kilda and he was deemed not good enough to play, and has really made his mark with the Sydney Swans.
Look, it is highly unlikely that they'll get a home final, but they are at least keeping their hopes alive. They will have to rely on Hawthorn losing their last 2 games, but they've been in trouble all day against Adelaide Crows. Although they do get to actually face St Kilda next week, the Hawks. That might be the only thing that prevents Sydney from finishing in 6th position and a home final here at the SCG.
Knowles from just outside of 50. Goes right to the line.
Great kick.
And he's kicked a goal.
A couple of Bronx cheers around the ground as the Saints get a couple of goals on the board in the last quarter. Unfortunately, there's still an 80-point deficit between the two teams, so there's hasn't been much great joy since the first quarter for any St Kilda fans today.
Well, the Saints have kicked 2 goals to 1 in this final quarter, so the floodgates have opened up.
26,334 the crowd here at the SCG.
O'Loughlin goes to ground. Hamill, the tackler, continues to work hard. O'Keefe over the top.
There might have been over 26,000 when the game started, KB. I don't know if they're still here when the rain and the lightning, the thunder and the hail came at half-time.
No, there was a mass exodus at that stage.
Been a much improved effort though this week from Sydney after last week's shock defeat against Melbourne. Pretty lacklustre effort last week, but all business this week, the Swans, so that'll give the supporters a bit of heart going into the finals.
Knowles is caught, does a 360, not penalised. Beetham to Everett from outside 50, curls it around. This could bounce wrong way, through for a behind. 1 goal 2 to Peter Everett today. Maxfield. He's been a very good player. 17 possessions. Outstanding in the first half when the game had to be won. Dunkley forces the ball forward. Kirk has been handy off the bench. And Crouch can't keep it alive.
Major possession getters at this stage for the Swans. You've got Matthew Nix with 25 possessions. He's also got 6 goals, 7. And also Michael O'Loughlin with 23. Paul Williams and Ben Matthews both have 18. Maxfield with 17. For the Saints, Ozzie Jones has 20 possessions. Matthew Young, 20 as well.
Spider Everett from centre wing drills it and finds Callaghan. He's had a good season with the Saints. He's been one of the pickups who's really put in. Barry Hall, bit of shoving, and again gives away the free kick. And that's happened a few times today. So 7-6 St Kilda, and Matthew Nix has kicked 6-7, so he's had the same number of scoring shots as Lewis comes forward.
Might get another one. Oh, there it is. He's called play on.
It was touched. It was definitely touched. The crowd would have loved to have a shot. They'd love to see him kick a goal in what could well be his last game unless they get a final at the SCG. Lewis pumps the ball deep. Hudson on the stretch. Ozzie Jones. He's battled pretty hard today, Ozzie Jones. He's had 21 possessions.
Been down there a bit.
It's like playing in the centre, playing in the back pocket.
Oh, no.
And Trianides has given away the free kick.
It's one of the best acting displays you'll ever see.
And Kirk, who has come off the bench a few times today.
All he did was shrug him off with the shoulder. Have a look at this. Get on, because he's still holding on.
Well,
there may be a bit of contact high.
There's a bit of contact high there. I don't think
look worse on replay than it did initially.
But can I say this, Jason? That's what sides do like St Kilda. They give the ball up when there's no need to give the ball up.
Yep.
What's the point of doing that? There's no point whatsoever.
There's a way to shake off a bloke that's actually holding on to you.
Well, you push
and making
yourself
contact
away.
high isn't the way to do it, is it?
You push away. If they hang on, you get 50 metres. Kirk's going for his 3rd goal, and he rams it home. For the sake of a bit of bravado, it costs a goal.
Well, initially I thought he just shrugged his shoulders and Kirk took a dive, but actually looked like the arm that we couldn't see may have actually made contact high. So it is. Look, it's undisciplined. It's hard enough winning possession at the best of times, but when you've got it, you don't want to give it away, do you? Yeah, he definitely he does catch him high, so it's a good decision by the umpire.
Oh, jeez. Well, that was silly play by Trianides. And one of the golden rules of football is that when you've got the ball and it's your ball, the opposition can do anything they like to you. But no good giving up the ball. That's a lack of discipline. It's a black mark. Davis. Now, who's that down there?
Seymour.
Seymour. Also a St Kilda player there is Knowles. He's holding his head as well.
Both very slow to get up.
And Fraser Gehrig toe pokes it over the line.
Yeah, Brett Knowles not too good, KB.
Blake was slow to get up as well. Knowles, both of them. He's holding his head. Just see as they all come in. Oh, he cops the ball in the side of the head from his own teammate, Greg Callahan, unfortunately. And that would weigh a bit, that ball at the moment.
Just under 7 minutes left. 20 goals, 13-1-33. There's been a lot of 20-goal tallies in this round of football. 7-6-48. The Saints.
Waterlogged footy would be like getting a brick in the face at the moment, wouldn't it?
They lead by 85 points, Sydney. O'Keefe heads for the line. Actually, it's a lot brighter now than what it was at half-time.
Yeah.
The lights were on at half-time. It was hailing.
At least the lightning's gone away.
It's a boundary throw in on centre wing. Everett's been a lone hand today, virtually in the ruck. And Matthews sees the ball back over the line.
Well, I thought it'd be a little bit more lopsided than that. 53 times inside their attacking 50 to Sydney to 47 for St Kilda, but obviously a lot better quality ball going into Sydney's forward line. And the Saints have been under all sorts of pressure.
You can show you can't it. You're trailing by 85 points and you're only 6 times less inside 50. You've got to scratch your head sometimes and ask, what does a stat really mean? Barry Hall tried to attack the ball, just overruns it. And Leo Barry squeezed up the line, tries to keep it alive with Schauble. Boundary throw in. 20-13-133 plays 7-6-48. 17 possessions to Seymour, 18 to Williams today, 23 to O'Loughlin, 25 to Nix, including 6-7, 14 to Kirk and 3 goals, and 4 St Kilda, 21 to Thompson, 21 to Aussie Jones, 16 to Fraser Gehrig today. Peter Everett's had it 14 times, Plapp 16, 20 times to Matthew Young and 17 times to Blake. But they have struggled across the half-forward line, and there's Barry Hall looking for a free. Milne, the dancing feet, finds Young. So he's right on 50.
Barry Hall just letting the umpire know he wasn't particularly happy that he's given away a few free kicks today, and then when he felt he should have got one, he didn't.
And Young goes for a big torpedo. Big torpedo. Off to the left and through for a minor score.
Well, Paul Williams just waiting on the boundary line. Looks like Brad Seymour is coming off after that heavy knock.
He's been favouring the leg.
Well, it's a good move. They've got Brisbane next week. He's a vital cog in their back line, which has been magnificent this year. And here's Dunkley. Strong overhead. Seymour going off the ground. It just lands in his hands.
Yeah.
Jude Bolt drills it and finds Luff. That's a bigger roar than Tony Lockett got when he kicked his 15th millionth goal.
Oh, he's such a crowd favourite, isn't he? A real cult hero up here, Troy Luff. And
O'Keefe
he has set up Ryan O'Keefe. He's worked hard. It hasn't been a particularly memorable day in terms of stats. Troy Luff, just the 5 possessions, spent time on the bench, but he's created a couple of goals for his teammates.
O'Keefe. High ball. Starts to bend it back. Misses to the left.
I'd dearly love to see him kick one himself before the end of play, though.
It'd be a great send-off. Aussie Jones. Short to Baker. He's a good kick, Aussie, isn't he? He's, he can hit a target.
Sydney have kicked 16 of the last 19 goals, KB.
Plapp. Short to Everett. Arms outstretched. Spider from defensive 50. They can raffle this. Bingo, lucky number 21. Beetham, inside 50. Milne and Dunkley. No contest. He's not that tall, Andrew Dunkley, is he? For a guy who takes a lot of strong marks.
Yeah, be 6'2".
Yeah, every bit of 6'2", but
6'2", 6'3", but very solid.
as good a hands as there is in the AFL, though.
Well, he always seems to be giving away inches. Lewis from centre wing, that's a great kick, and finds Nix, who's been so hot today. He's booted 6-7.
He needs one more to even the ledger.
Goes long. Off hands and through for a behind.
Well, he'll be thankful for that one being punched through and not going against his name. Let's go down to Mark Beretta to find out exactly what's wrong with Brad Seymour.
Well, he's had a lot of treatment on the right knee. The doctors and physios have worked on that. They're just icing it at the moment, and hopefully that won't cause Brad Seymour too much stress.
Thank you, Mark.
Ozzie Jones goes long. Dunkley just ambles to the ball. And the kick's a poor one. It's been marked by Davis.
That's why he tends to handball a lot, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
So the Saints with loose player Young has had a lot of the ball today. 22 possessions and 6 marks across half back. Goes short looking for Baker. Pushed out of the contest. So they played an advantage and lands in the arms of Callaghan. Point of the square, drills it. Milne. Wasn't a good option.
Here's Troy Luff again.
Finds Bolton. And the run comes to Kennelly. To Crouch, to Maxfield.
Great
Caught.
tackle, Aaron Hamill.
Beetham, second effort. This could hurt the Swans. A late goal, maybe. Spider. Free kick, taken high, not paid. Hall.
Oh, that's a beauty.
He's kicked a goal. 3 goals to Barry Hall. 2 came in the first quarter, and 1 in the dying stages of this 4th term.
Tell you what, there's a fair degree of difficulty about this one. Some great work in the middle of the ground from Aaron Hamill, a super tackle on Stuart Maxfield, then driving the loose ball forward. Just manages to avoid the point post, and have a look at that. Not a lot of angle to work with. Over the shoulder off one step, that's a beauty. There's a great shot of what angle he's got to work with.
Everett again, getting his hands on the ball first. O'Keefe has the kick smothered. In fact, it hit Hamill in the face. Crouch goes wide, finds Luff. He's the favourite son today. To centre half forward, Lewis in front. Kicks the ball off the ground. It was clever play. Ozzie Jones tracks Matthews to the boundary for a toss back in. Sydney by 80 points, 20 goals, 15 plays, 8-7, 55. Davis, O'Keefe. Sydney's one of the best tackling sides in the competition. Just over a minute left in the game. Sydney led by just 2 points at quarter time, and then they had that terrific 8-goal second quarter to set up a 47-point lead, then a 6-goal third term to extend it to an 85-point lead as Lewis goes short and finds O'Loughlin. He's been handy today.
He has. He's got plenty of the ball. 23 possessions. He's only kicked the 2 points. Poor old Maxie Hoshin hasn't had a particularly great afternoon. He was on O'Loughlin early. Got a bit of the run around. Then spent a little bit of time on Adam Goods. Back on Michael O'Loughlin. And he was just doubling back to goal, thinking Lewis was going to have a shot. But O'Loughlin gave him the short lead, and he honoured it with a little chip pass.
From just 25 metres out, Michael O'Loughlin kicks goal number 21.
And really both sides just going through the motions now. A very big margin in favour of the Swans. Do wonders for their confidence after that slip up last week against Melbourne, which I'm sure Rodney Eade would have had plenty to say about early on in the week. Then they would have focused on the job at hand against St Kilda this week, and they've come out and done it in a very business-like fashion.
And you can probably hear the Luffy screaming that's gone up around the SCG.
Chance for the Swans straight away into attack. Here's a chance for Williams. He's missed.
unfortunately, the fairy tales don't always happen, do they, KB? As much as we'd love him to
Kick a goal.
get the ball late in the game and kick a goal, and the crowd would dearly love that here. Mind you, I think he'd be pretty thrilled hearing the crowd chanting his name here at the SCG.
Well, 12 years he's been with the Swans, and it's his retirement.
Here he goes.
Early in the week.
Oh! Could he go back and kick a big torque plugger?
Well, he's only got two.
Oh, let your hand out.
The
siren's gone.
And he's got the ball. Can you believe it?
He's got to have a shot, surely.
Well, he was 95 metres out, Jason.
He'd go back and have a kick. Poor old Spider Everett. He just started walking over to shake his hand, and then he's supposed to be back on the mark.
Well, 21-16, 142. Great win by Sydney today. The Saints 8-7-55. And Matthew Nix has booted 6 goals today. He booted 6 goals, 7. In a great performance. And Troy Luff there, the man on screen. He's been the hero today. They've chanted his name right throughout the game. He's announced his retirement. Last game at the Sydney Cricket Ground, we suspect, unless there's a final there. But that's a belated chance there for Sydney. And there's Lewis, one of their veterans as well, has come on and off the ground today. A couple of cameo performances. Let's go out to Mark Beretta.
Thanks very much, KB. Troy Luff, what an emotional finish, and what a great finish.
Oh, mate, it's great to go out 80-odd point winners at the SCG. You know, it gives us a great springboard into the finals, and obviously I was wrapped playing here today, you know, last game in Sydney, and obviously get a senior game and to win like this is just fantastic.
It looked as though you might have been just walking around at half-time, but what did you think when Rocket called you up on Thursday?
Well, I didn't really know till Thursday night, and I was like a little kid. I was so excited, and I couldn't wait to get out here. And the first quarter, I suppose, I was a little bit over-anxious. It was really like my first game, but once I settled down, like I said, look, I'm wrapped. I can't wait to thank all the people here today, do a lap with the kids. I'm looking forward to it. Probably a bit emotional, I think.
You take away some great memories, Luffy.
Oh, I will. I mean, we've had some great games here, and of course the 96 grand final. So I've loved it here, and hopefully I've got still a few more games left, but obviously last one here.
All right, enjoy this. Good on you, Troy.
Thanks, Mark.
There's fantastic reception from the crowd and his teammates. Troy Luff, he really has been a cult hero up here at the SCG. Plenty of joy for the Swans fans. At the end of the day, they've knocked off the Saints in convincing fashion. The margin, 87 points.